Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. This is Fish from Blog number 46, and I thought I would start off today by talking about your 3D printed filter, Aaron. It is obviously way too early to talk about its filtration capacity or anything, but I thought I'd give you a preliminary result on its integrity. So far, it has not softened any, it's still nice and hard, and I haven't noticed any change in its surface texture. So in about another 3 weeks or so, I will start working on how it is as an actual filter. But so far I haven't seen any changes in this tank at all, but again, this is way too early. One thing I noticed though is all the bubbling again has caused this plant to start deteriorating. I think I am going to switch it out. I don't really care for this as the centerpiece anymore. But I do like how the Java moss is growing up the sides, and when I do switch that out, I'm definitely going to have to be very careful about not disturbing that. Now, the Java fern is doing really nicely, and I really do need to get to wiring a lot more of that up now that I'm happy with how all that looks. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this, I have 4 7-foot tanks at one of the fish room that you just never see. 2 of them are filled with a lot, well, they were filled with all this coral. I pulled it all out, I let it dry because I'm in the current process of paring down how much I'm keeping in the way of African cichlids, and I want to consolidate and obviously move out a bunch, and I want to have at least 2 breeding groups going for some of them. I will show you when I get to that point. And that top tank is the one I'm going to switch over to keeping or growing out, I should say, of the angels and guppies and that sort of stuff, more along the lines of bread and butter kind of fish. So that is the process involved in that, and that is the reason why I'm showing you this big barrel, because I want to keep obviously the coral. It's very hard to get a hold of these days, and I always want to make sure I have plenty of it on hand because it is very useful stuff and not just for display purposes. And while I was on that cleaning kick, I decided it was time to do something about this. This is my stack of offcuts. It is my 1/8 and 1/4 inch supposedly organized, but I had finally got the first 2 drawers on the workstation done, so I thought it was time to actually separate them out and go through them, throw out the finicky little pieces or the odd shapes and odd cuts and some of the ones that just were getting to the point where they were getting really old. So I threw a bunch out, and the rest went into those drawers. And the nice thing is I have created a clean spot. I definitely have a lot more work in this area to do, but I am in the process of making more drawers, and I'm going to get to all that. Now I'm showing you this because I had shown you, this is the planter filter, but this is the Java moss version, and I had put all that ammonia in, and gradually it had got rid of it all, and I went through I won't tell you all the chemistry again because you can just go watch the video, but gradually the nitrate dropped off. And then I was, again, busy doing other things, so I decided just to leave it alone. And once the nitrate level leveled out to barely noticeable, all the algae died off. So I'm actually going to work on that filter. I do want to do some other stuff with it, and I'll save that for the next video. But I have some very interesting ideas for that filter. These guys are baby Bosmani rainbows, and this is the Java moss that was in that tank. So what I decided to do was just pull it out and then put in fresh Java moss. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it. Normally what I do for this sort of thing is make up some nylon or acrylic yarn, spawning mops. But I'm going to test out doing it the natural way with Java moss because I definitely have plenty of it here. And we're going to see how that does. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a bunch of infusoria into this and grow them out a little bit. And then I'm going to probably use the in-tank fry separator that I had shown you, the incubator one. And we'll see if I can put these into an aquarium and get them growing there. And I'm just going to keep an eye on this for about a week, make sure that all the little fry, or the eggs have hatched out into the little fry. And then I am going to swap them out again, and we'll see how much of this I can get. So these I haven't shown you in quite some time. The one on the left I actually ended up cleaning out completely and restarting. As you can see, it just takes off, so it's no big deal. And this is obviously where I get all my infusoria from for my fish. And that's what I wanted to show you because this stuff will grow anywhere. This is really healthy looking Java moss, and it is buried on the bottom of this tank under all that green algae and everything else, and it's still thriving. I don't think it's possible to kill that stuff, and which is kind of a good thing because it is very useful. It has, places for fish to hide, egg laying, all kinds of stuff. So I really do like it. Now, while I was mentioning the fact that I want to start rotating Java moss, what I'm going to do in this tank is I'm going to remove some of the extra plants, and I am going to hopefully encourage these guys to spawn in the Java moss, and then I'm going to do the same thing with these guys. Except I'm going to take that Java moss and put it to the tank on the left, which had the planter filter on it, and I'm going to use that, see if I can hatch out a bunch of gardener Achilles. This is an arrowleaf plant I managed to pick up from one of my clients, and I really like it. And so far all I'm doing is just sticking it in the hole there because I haven't had time. I've been very busy. All these plants are just doing ever so well, and I just wanted to get it in there and get it to start rooting. And sometime next week I am going to put in a proper rooting system. So the last video I showed you guys was this incubator. Now, obviously way too early to tell if it's doing what it should be doing or not, but I thought I'd give you a little clip of it here because I've had a lot of comments on it, and thank you very much for all those, by the way. And some people seem to think that it will grow really, really well and will grow anywhere, and some other people were telling me that no matter what they did, it wouldn't grow at all. So I'm actually really kind of interested to see how well this is going to do. It is an interesting project, and one I'm actually looking forward to seeing because I haven't done this before, and that's always kind of cool. So I'll continue doing weekly updates on this, and that'll be in the Sunday vlogs, and then sometime down the road I'll do a bunch of side-by-sides, and we can see how well it's grown, or just in general how it has fared in this incubator. I'm optimistic about it, but then again, you never know with this sort of thing. And I will, in the short term, probably the next week or two, augment the lights over this because with all of this plant life, not enough light is getting down into the aquariums anymore. I haven't really noticed any change in the plants, to tell you the truth. But it does need to be moved around a little bit. As you can see, one of the leaves on the umbrella plant is getting a bit damaged from that hose. So yeah, I do need to spread things out a little bit more here, and like I said, get more light into this, and hopefully continue this project because I'm actually really liking how it all looks. So we're getting close to the end of the video now, and there's one more thing I'd like to talk about before we get there. And that is my latest poll. I put it up a little while ago, and at the time of this video, I had over 215 participants, and that is amazing. I love that. I love it when people weigh in on topics, let me know what they think, leave comments and all that sort of stuff. In this particular case, it was about making a filter from dollar store materials and dollar store tools, and still at 95% in favor. And if we ever get out of a lockdown here, I'm definitely going to go to a dollar store and peruse what they have, pick out the best of things, and hopefully put together a filter that will obviously function well and, of course, look reasonable as well, which is the hardest thing about when you start using materials like that, to have it look like anything, and I'll do what I can. So the last clip is going to be the angels, and I think the next time you see these guys, they're going to be in that 7-foot tank, because on Sunday, I am going to, actually when this video goes up, call out those and take a fair number of them to my clients, and then the rest I'm going to set those 2 breeding groups up for. And then the nice ones of these are going to go up into there, and the rest will go into another aquarium. And so next time you see them, they'll have a lot more space. So thanks very much for watching. Leave lots of comments, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.